It's been a long time since I've uploaded onto this channel, and to be honest, over the past few months, I've not fallen out of love with football, but I've just you get a bit sick of the same antics each week, especially diving and all this ridiculous controversy over VAR, and especially with my team, Manchester United. When Mourinho was there, I sort of lost for will a bit. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has really rejuvenated the club, and he's been given a full-time contract now, which he fully deserves. They've had a bit of a sticky patch for the last few weeks or so, but it's hardly a sticky patch. They've just had a couple of defeats, which is usual for any team, unless you're Manchester City at the moment. But even they went on a bit of a bad run around Christmas time where they lost a few of the bounce. So just to get things rolling again, this is an article that was posted on Sky Sports, but also on BBC Sports website earlier today, and obviously it's about Manchester United, the team I follow, and 6 players could leave Old Trafford at end of season. And my initial reaction is, great, we need a bit of a clear out. And then it went on to say that Mata and Herrera out of contract in the summer, and they both look like leaving. And Herrera, there's been talks of him already signing contract with PSG, although there's been nothing concrete to confirm that. And I think he would be a loss to United. You think, who else plays in his position? You've got excuse me, you've got Paul Pogba. We need to try and keep hold of him. He looks to be happy again, when it looked like he was going to leave when Mourinho was there not so long ago. You've got Fred, he's struggled, hasn't he, so far? And certainly, if Herrera leaves, I think they need to give Fred a bit another season to prove himself, because some players take a bit more time to settle in than others. I don't think he's been terrible. He's just been a bit below what you'd have expected him to be. So Herrera, he would be a bit of a loss, but if he's already signed a pre-contract with PSG, or if he's got his heart set on leaving whoever he goes for, then you can't help that. Another guy who is in the picture here with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Mata, and I thought, oh, that would be a big loss, but I think over the past few years he's been a great servant to Manchester United, but does he really fit into the team's tactical approach for fast attacking play? Mata's not. He's a great player, but does he? He's not a winger. Manchester United already have a number of players who can play in for number 10, and he's been substitute more often than not when I've seen Manchester United play this season. And I think it's probably going to be the right time for him to move on, as good as a player he is. And he's been rumoured to go to Barcelona, and I think he'd do well there. I think he'd do well wherever he went. The other player is Alexis Sanchez, who he's had. This is his first full season, and he had a half season last year. He's just completely flopped. I don't think he'd agree to it, but I think they should just terminate his contract. I don't think they should be looking for any money for him. They just need to get him off the books. And the problem is, who's going to pay that wage? Who's going to pay that wage? And who's going to pay, I don't know, even 30 million? Would anyone pay that for him, though? I don't think they would. So it's a bit of a problem there. And I think he's contracted till 2022, another 3 years. So, if no one comes in for him, and you can't get him off the books, then I think you've got to keep trying to get the best out of him, because there's no point letting him rot away on the bench when he's just taking up a big chunk of wages each month. We know that he can be a quality player. He's not showing it for some reason. Hopefully he can. Hopefully, if there's no takers, he can show a little bit of quality next season. So that's 3 players. So as many as 6 could leave. Let's go down to the article. So uncertainty over futures over Herrera, Mata, and Sanchez. Solskjaer will decide if Sanchez can go. I think I don't think it's a case of deciding whether he can go. I think it's a case of trying to get someone to come in for him. And who really would? Manchester City, I don't think they would now. Barcelona, would they? He's already been at Barcelona and he did pretty well there, but they didn't want him anymore. Um, who else would maybe Paris Saint Germain? They're the only suitors I can think of. Maybe Juventus, but they paid a lot on Ronaldo not so long ago. So, yeah, I mean, Sanchez has only started 5 games with 6 further substitute appearances. Since Solskjaer replaced Mourinho, that's just not good enough. 1 goal as well. It's not good at all. So scroll down a little bit further, and De Gea, yeah, they want to keep it. Of course they do. If David De Gea left, that would be a huge blow to Manchester United. Although having said that, they've got Romero, absolutely quality goalkeeper. But no, they need to keep De Gea. But I think if those 3 players go, they do need a bit of a clear out, but they need some quality coming in as well. And I think what did he do? Did he bring some new players through? Did he bring some youngsters through, or did he buy proven stars? Did he look in the Premier League where they've already delivered, or do they look abroad and try and get a good deal somewhere? And you look at let's just say Sanchez went. They've got Lukaku, and he's had a lot of criticism. I'm personally a fan of his, although I can see how he's not a typical United player. Who would United bring in? Someone pacey, someone who can play down the middle and get them goals. And there's a bit of a lack at the moment. Harry Kane, he's not the quickest of players. People are saying, "Oh, he'd be brilliant." Would he be that much better than Lukaku? I'm sure he'd provide a better return than Lukaku, but would he really be as good as people would expect him to be at United? I'm not so sure. Um, Dybala, I've not seen that much of him, but he's very pacey from what I've heard and seen, and he gets a lot of goals for Juventus, so he could be a possibility. Who else in the Premier League? I mean, I think as good as anyone in the Premier League, Aubameyang is a brilliant player, but would Arsenal sell to Manchester United? They have before. Um, if they put in a big bid for someone like Aubameyang, maybe they could prize him away from Arsenal. I'm not sure, but he's a proven goal scorer. He's quick. I think he'd be a good signing for them. Then you look into midfield. Who would they bring in? I mean, you're not going to get the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, even. You're not going to get them selling to Manchester United. And who are they going to get in the centre of midfield? Herrera will be a loss. They have to keep hold of Pogba. Scott McTominay is a really good player coming through, but you can't rely on him just yet. I don't think he's ready to play week in, week out yet. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if you think of anyone who could fill the role of Herrera. I mean, he's not a starter week in, week out, but United need some quality in the middle of the park to partner Pogba. And Matic he's a good player, but he has made a few mistakes as well. And then I think they've been rumoured to be going in for Harry Maguire, which they have been for a while. I think if they bring in Harry Maguire, they need to get rid of either Jones or Smalling. And is he that much better than Chris Smalling? I think he's better, but is he that much better to justify the transfer fee that he would cost? How much would he cost? He'd probably cost close to 60 million now. Someone like Maguire and Smalling, they probably wouldn't even get half that fee for him. So I'm not too sure on that one. Varane, I think, would be a very good signing from Real Madrid, but again, unproven in the Premier League. But he plays for a world class team. He has been world class for France as well, and I think he'd be a great addition. So it'd be very interesting summer at Manchester United. And especially if those big players leave, let's see who Solskjaer replaces them with. It'll be very interesting. Exciting times ahead. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I'll see you soon with some more videos.